You're watching Business Connections Live. This is program number 3. I'm Steve Hyland. With me is Paul Imrie. Paul, really interesting what we're talking about. We kind of left off a minute or so ago talking about the difference, how important words are, how important pictures are. I suppose at the end of the day, it's all down to what you're trying to get over and what information you're trying to impart on your client.
Absolutely. And if we can refer to this next case study, it's one of our clients. The company is called the Hulse Group. They have a product called the Psychometric System, the McQuaig Psychometric System. Now, those words are very technical and difficult to understand. So if you're trying to sell something like that, immediately you've got barriers. So it's a question of, do you use words? Do you use pictures? Do you use images? Well, the answer is actually you use those together in the form of an infographic. So if we could...
that's what we've got there, an infographic.
If we take a look at this.
Smarter people...
Smarter people decisions. So the idea is that if you employ good people, your business will do well. Okay? But how do you find the good people? We've all been in interviews where a gut instinct decision has been made and you've either got the job or you haven't. So this system came about during the Second World War. I think it was a Canadian system. They wanted to find out who made good fighter pilots. So they came up with a system based on psychology, and it's been adapted and it's been turned into a business tool. So when you're interviewing people, you give them various tests and it gives you a profile. Now, that's a very complicated way of saying...
Well, it's a very complicated concept.
Very complicated concept, but it's also a very complicated way of saying is we'll help you find smarter people, people who are prepared to do your work. They're looking to you and they want a career with you. Yeah, some people may come in, but the job is not adapted to them and then they leave. And so what are the costs of hiring people? Yep,
I think we've all been there. I think I remember once hiring somebody and it was probably a very big mistake. Hope he's not watching. She's not watching. He's not watching.
We've all been there. That's true. So again, the point I'm making here is, yes, you do need text. You do need to explain and do your testimonials and all the rest of it. And yes, you do need pictures to reassure people that they've come to the right place. But sometimes you've got to communicate concepts. And so infographics, it's worth spending a little bit of money getting it drawn up properly. Again, these people won't be able to draw the diagrams until you give them the IP, until you explain to them what you want to have in those pictures. But a picture paints an image, 1,000 words or whatever it is. Yeah.
But it's a case, once again, isn't it, of finding somebody like yourself who, and you must actually have to get inside the business's head to really realise what they're trying to achieve with the graphics and with the words and the text and the message that they're trying to get over. I suppose at one stage along the whole process of putting your website together, somebody somewhere has got to sort of say, this is actually our primary directive, this is what we want to achieve. And who is that? Is that me, the business owner, or is that you, the web developer?
Okay, I would say it's a question of partnership. So you come along with the business story. You know you want to do something. You want more money, because you said that earlier on.
Yeah, we like more money. Yeah, money's good.
Want more customers. And there's also an element of self-service. So instead of customers always phoning you up for common problems, they can find out things for themselves. So there are different business objectives. Yeah. And so then, really, if you could work with someone in partnership, and I would say to anyone out there, don't treat your web designer as a utility, work with them. Spend the time up front thinking about it. Don't dive straight into a website. I mean, the easiest thing to do would be to have a look at a website and say, I want that, I want that.
I want one like,
I want one like that. The thing is, you don't know their journey, you don't know where they came from, you don't know what they're trying to achieve. So why would you do that?
So is there a checklist then that we should say to our viewers right now, if you are thinking about, maybe even to step back for a moment, look at their own existing website, is there a checklist that they should be going through in their mind's eye?
Yes.
Before they either A, see you, or B, look at their own website tomorrow morning, or whenever they're going to look at it later today, and they go, that's not right, not very happy with that, I can see why it's not working. I can maybe double my sales if I was to change this, change that.
Yes, I would say forget about the website, yeah, because you're not saying I need to change my email marketing, I need to change my phone communications. You're not saying any of that. I need to paint my vehicles, I need my signage changed. You're not saying any of that, but they all need doing. They all need to be consistent. They all need to tell the same story. It's all about branding, isn't it? So why do people focus on the website? Yeah, if you change your sign,
I think the reason is, isn't it, is that the vehicle that you paint is driving up and down the M1, so you only perceive it as being seen by a few drivers driving up the M1 with you. And I think there is this concept perhaps that if you put a website together and it's online and it's on the World Wide Web, that the world is going to see you. And maybe that's where they're coming from. Perhaps.
okay, but the world isn't going to buy from you. They have to have a compelling reason. Why would I buy from you? I don't know you from Adam. Why would I buy from you? You've got to communicate to me that you are someone I would trust and I would buy from you.
So what are the questions you ask your clients when they walk in? Are those the questions that you ask?
Absolutely. Why do you want it? What are you trying to achieve? Your branding. Start with your branding. Get that right. Because the branding is the first piece of communication. It's on your business cards, compliment slips, your invoices. Your invoices are a piece of communication.
I mean, it's very interesting, this conversation, because it's gone in a completely different direction from where I imagined it would go. I thought
It's
you were going
not
to
rocket science. It isn't. And that's the problem. Maybe because websites, it's my generation, the young people, the geek people, they've come along and talk technobabble, and business people are lost. Yeah?
I mean, we see a lot of that, don't we, where particular industries are driven by the technology. We've seen that with smart television. They did some research on that, and they said what people want to do with their smart TVs is, surprise, surprise, watch television. They don't actually want all the other features. What they want is a great picture and great sound, and the rest of it actually is quite superfluous to the whole thing. So I suppose it's a little bit of that, isn't it? You're kind of narrow looking, if there's such an expression.
Absolutely. It's telling a story. You know, you've been
selling the sizzle.
You've been in business for I don't know how many years. So your logo will start off by setting a perception, and then you keep building. You tell the story.
So let's go back to the website then that we were looking at earlier on, the psychometric system that we've got there. As you said, it's a very, very complicated system anyway. What are they trying to achieve by that page, from its layout, from the way it looks, from the graphics that are on there? Are they trying to get someone to pick up the phone and give them a call? I'm just looking at telephone numbers at the top. Are they looking to get someone to fill in a form? I mean, is that, and are they important elements? And for instance, the scrolling text that's sitting down the side, the quotes, I take it they're quotes, they're recommendations, they're testimonials from existing clients who are saying just how good they are. So how is that page working that we're looking at there?
Okay, I mean, you have to sort of get into the business's position. So when they're selling a product, so they will interview candidates. So the candidates will probably be in a state of shock, thinking, oh no, I've got a psychometric test. What is a psychometric test? So there will be resources there for the candidates so that they can reassure themselves and not panic. Then there will be resources for the people who are going to use the psychometric system. So we're not selling at any point, we are supporting the products. So different parts of the sites will be constructed to support the product, that customer service thing. And also we're trying to recruit new customers. So then there has to be a selling element. So you have to map that out. You have to draw paths, if you like, through the website and provide those bits of content at different stages.
I asked a question earlier on, how do you measure a successful website? Is it the footfall? Is it the conversions? Is it the number of inquiries? I mean, what are people looking for?
Okay, again, that is specifically down to your business. Yeah. If, again, going back to McQuaig, if it's the candidate panicking about his interview, he's not going to buy from you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? But you are validating your product. You're providing information. That candidate can be reassured. They're not going to panic. They're not going to think bad about the company that's going to give them that psychometric test. So that's a very specific requirement, and the website is there to answer that.